Good evening everyone. I'm Johnny J. De La Peña, and for today, I'll be discussing about understanding Windows Internet Naming Service or system. So, let's begin. What is WINS? WINS stands for Windows Internet Naming Service or System. WINS is a Microsoft service for resolving NetBIOS names to IP addresses in a network. WINS maintains a database of NetBIOS names by their corresponding IP addresses. When a computer needs to communicate with another using its NetBIOS names, it queries the WINS server to resolve the name to an IP address. So, what is the purpose of WINS? First, name registration translates NetBIOS names to an IP address. Dynamic registrations allows clients to register their NetBIOS name dynamically. Centralized management maintains a database of NetBIOS names and their associated IP address. The WINS server maintains a dynamic database of NetBIOS name and corresponding IP address. When a device registers its name, the server adds that information to the database. Over time, the server updates that database as names are added, updated, or released. The WINS database ensures that any network device can be located by its NetBIOS name. When a machine starts, it broadcasts a NetBIOS name registration request on the network. If the WINS server is configured, the machine will send a name directly to the WINS server, which then check if the name is already in use. If the name is unique, the WINS server registers the name and associate it with the machine IP address. If it's a duplicate, the server returns an error and the machine must select a different name. If the IP address is not catched, it sends a query to the WINS server asking for the IP address of the target device NetBIOS name. When machines want to communicate with another device, it first checks its local cache for the corresponding IP address of a NetBIOS name. The WINS server looks up the name in its database and returns the correct IP address to the querying machine. How WINS work? Client's request. A client's computer sends a request to the WINS server to resolve a NetBIOS name. WINS database. WINS server queries its database for the name to IP mapping. Response. WINS server responds with the IP address or an error message if the name is not found. When a computer starts up, it registers its NetBIOS name with the WINS server, which stores this name along with the computer IP address. When the computers are on network needs to communicate with another by name, computer 1 for example, it sends a request to the WINS server. The WINS server then responds with the correct IP address associated with that NetBIOS name. When a computer shuts down, it informs the WINS server to release its name so the server can remove it from its database. Advantage of WINS: easy of use. Simplifies network management by automating name resolution. User can easily access network resources using human reliable NetBIOS names instead of remembering IP address. Simplify resource management. Dynamic updates allows for dynamic updating of name mappings. WINS efficiently manage environments where devices frequently change IP address, ensuring that name resolution remains accurate and up-to-date without manual intervention. Centralized management. Central location for managing NetBIOS names and IP address. Centralized management makes it easier to identify and troubleshoot names resolution issues. Administrators can quickly check the status and logs of the WINS server to diagnose problems. Disadvantage of WINS: complexity may introduce complexity in large networks. While WINS can be user-friendly, the initial setup of configuration can still be complex, especially in a large network with multiple WINS servers. Configuring replication between WINS servers and ensuring consistency can require a significant effort. Dependence. Network communication depends on WINS servers' availability. Relying on relying on WINS servers create a single point of failure. If the WINS server goes down, name resolution will fail for clients that depends on it, potentially disrupting access to network resources. Legacy protocol. NetBIOS and WINS are considered legacy technology. WINS is based on the NetBIOS protocols, which considered outdated compared to a modern network standard. Many new applications and services do not support NetBIOS, making WINS less relevant.